Welcome back to H3 Weapon Deep Dive. We are looking at yet another SMG icon. We are looking at the Sten series. We've got here in the spawner the Sten Mark II, the Mark V, the Mark VI, and the Mark IX. The Mark IX's a little oddball. It's a short guy here with no stock. Oh no, what's happened? Who knows? They are all chambered in 9x19 Parabellum. And they have two magazines, a 16 and a 32 rounder. Going to be a lot to look at, so let's get started. Let's check it out. One thing I'm noticing about these Stens is the Mark II and Mark IX, which is basically just the Mark II chopped up, have a very different grip angle. So I'm holding both of my controllers identical to each other, just, you know, side to side, and you can see how much different it is. This one's got your blunderbuss, you know, flintlock pistol grip, where it's kind of like you have to tilt it really far down. You have to kind of do this with it in order to aim it properly. So that's what I'm dealing with there. Whereas with the Mark V and VI, it's a normal grip just like this, like a pistol. This one, I got to tilt it forward, unless, of course, I grab it with foregrip. So you're going to have to grab these with foregrips unless you want to fire it like a blunderbuss. Yeesh. Let's look at the controls, starting with the Mark II. We've got our magazine well on the left side. Jam that sucker in there. This is the 16 rounder. It's a single stack. Oh no, excuse me. It's a double stack single feed. There we go. All right, we've got the foregrip here. Is very tricky to grab. It's right about where the front post is. It's right about there and ends very shortly. You can't even grab up here where my controller is. And if you grab too close to the magazine, you'll pull it out. So it's a bit tricky. I would aim for that front post, and I think then you got it. Bolt is pretty obvious on the right side here. Give it a pull. It's an open bolt gun. You can also pull it back and slide that bolt up and release, and that becomes your safety on that side. You've got a fire control switch. You've got full auto and semi-auto, which is nice. You wouldn't think you would have that in a gun this simple, but you do. And of course, there's your solid, I guess you could call it a stock. Well, that's what it is. Moving on to the Mark V. Well, we got some wood on here, but I think it's basically the same setup. Got your mag well here. Your grip area is much easier to grab because you've got a proper foregrip hanging down there. Nicer, nicer, nicer. Same bolt. Pull it back, twist it up for the safe, release it, fires open bolt. You've got the same selector switch, semi and full auto. Again, there's no safety on this selector switch. That's your safety. Or pulling out the magazine. That's also your safety. The stock does not fold. It is a fixed stock. But that's that. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the Mark VI. We've got the same basic layout here. Our suppressor here is much larger. It gives a large area for us to grab the foregrip area. You can grab anywhere along this. Is this canvas or leather? It's hard to tell in H3, but you can grab anywhere in there as the foregrip. Much easier. That way you're not accidentally grabbing the magazine. Bolt is the same. Pull back and twist up for a safety. And the selector switch is also the same. You've got safe and full. No safety on the selector switch. Finally, onto the Mark IX. Where'd my Mark II go? Whoa. It's gone. You took the Mark II. Oh, wait. It says Mark II. I think somebody chopped the model in pieces. Well, it says Mark IX Shorty, so okay, I'll take it as that. Let's see what we got here. There's our bolt, same as before. Let's see our magazine wells there. Do we have a foregrip? Yes, we do, and actually, it's about the same amount of grippable area as the regular Mark II, which is fortunate. There's our safe up in there, and how's our selector switch? There's your auto. There's your semi with left on the trackpad. Does not have a stock. We will see in a second if you can add one when we cover attachments. So let's cover attachments. Here we go with the Mark II again. We've got no rails. No surprises, no rails. These were World War II era and beyond Sten guns, so that's not going to happen. So let's start taking a look at our barrel. What do we can we put the muzzle brake on there? Yeah, we got a muzzle brake. Makes it look all fancy. How about a suppressor? Ah, okay, so we can put suppressors on these. Rail adapter, okay, so we can get some rails on it the hard way. Barrel extension, yes, looks good. What else do we got? Foregrip. That's a bummer. Battle spatula, yeah, there you go. You gotta have your bayonet lug on your submachine gun, that's important. And of course it's already got a stock, so we add a stock. Well, it's already got a stock, so no. Let's see what attachments will fit on the Mark 6. Can you put a muzzle brake on this? No. This is a integrated suppressor in the barrel, so you cannot put anything on the end of it as an additional attachment, which is unfortunate. Can you put a battle spatula on it? No. Well, what good is it? It doesn't have a battle spatula. And of course it doesn't have any rails. Can you put anything on the foregrip area? No. How about a stock? Well, it already has a stock. So no attachments whatsoever to the Mark 6. And finally, onto the Mark 9 Shorty. If anybody needs attachments to this thing, let's see if we can put the muzzle brake on it. Yes, okay, so there might be some room, a way we can improve this thing. We can put the suppressor on there, the barrel extendo rail thingy, yeah. How about the barrel extension? Fantastic. Foregrip? No. No foregrip. All right, battle spatula. Yes, yes, okay, that's important. Now, here's the real big question. Can you put a stock on this thing? It's not looking good. Oh. Well, at least you can put stuff on the end of the barrel, but the all-important stock is not going to work with this little guy. Let's look at sights, starting with the Mark II. Looks like we got some irons on there and a little aperture on the rear. Let's see what it looks like. Hey, that's, you know, that's not that bad. I can work with this. Yeah, that's not too bad for regular irons. I'll take it. On the Mark V, we've got some different sights on this one. You've got a front post. It's got some protective wings on it. You've got a similar aperture, but it is a little different. It's not. That front post is a little skinny. It does have a chunky bottom to it, so it does make it easy to find it in the aperture when you're looking around for it. So that's not so bad. So actually these aren't bad, because I think as long as you can make out, yeah, as long as you can make out that very tippy needle thin front post in your HMD, you can get it done. And if you can't, you can use the bottom. Yeah, that's going to fire high though if you use the chunky part. So you're going to have to aim over the chunky part, even if you can't see that little tiny needle-like post. On the Mark 6, what do we got? Oh, well, it looks like we got that needle post and nothing protective to find it, and the same rear aperture as the 5, so not as good. Yeah, actually, that's even worse front post because you don't have the chunky bit on it. Let's see if I can hit anything with it. Oops, let's put it on semi. It's firing a little low. No, that's okay. Never mind. All right, manageable, but not very good. Finally, onto the Mark 9 Shorty. Yeah, it looks like we got the same as the Mark II, I think. Are they the same? Yeah, they're the same as the Mark II, same radius, same setup, so pretty decent. The only problem is it doesn't have a stock, so you're going to end up pulling it way back into your shoulder. You got to hold it out in front of you quite a bit more than you normally would, and it makes it very wibbly. Yeah, these are going to be a lot trickier, mainly just because the stock isn't there. All important recoil test starting with the Mark II. We're going to do it full auto, and we're going to use the 16-round magazine so it doesn't take so damn long, because I got a lot of stuff to put on these barrels. Here we go. Well, that is a lot better than I was expecting. Look at all those 10s, a 9.5, a 9.5. Has a nice low rate of fire, so that is super controllable. But that is, for such a cheap looking gun, that is a great result. Well, we started with a 9.5. Let's see if the muzzle brake is going to really improve it. 9.38. Hard to improve a whole lot from that 9.5, and this doesn't seem to be necessary. Moving on to the suppressor. Ooh, weird group. So we got a 10 on the first shot and then immediately popped up and clustered the rest of them. So that's an 8.62, which is not a good result, but the group is really good. On to the Mark 5. Ooh, same thing as the suppressor from the Mark II, where it popped up and then started to cluster, but this was not nearly as good as a group as the suppressor. A 7.94. Strange. I think this has a higher rate of fire, and that's the problem. Let's compare the rate of fire here. We've got the Mark II on the right and the Mark V on the left. Yeah. The Mark V definitely has a faster rate of fire than the Mark II, and I think that's contributing to the worse recoil of the Mark V. Let's throw that muzzle brake on there, see how we do. Wow, same thing. First shot, great. The rest of them, poop, popped up. 6.75, actually worse. That's not what I was expecting. On to the suppressor. Another case of it popping up. 7.06, not that great. Moving on to the Mark VI recoil. Let's see what we get here with our our integrated suppressor. Not too shabby, still got that good first shot and then pop up from there. 8.25, pretty decent result. I still am way more impressed with that slow rate of fire on the Mark II, but for the faster rate of fire, Mark V and 6, this is pretty decent. And finally, our Mark IX Shorty. Ooh boy. Okay, at least we're on the paper. Very low rate of fire, but 3.06. Ooh, not good. 3.06 to beat. Let's see if the muzzle brake can tame this thing. Weird fire pattern there. All right. Well, it certainly improved it, or up to 5.44. Hardly great, but then again, you've got no stock on this. So yeah, the muzzle brake definitely helps on the Mark IX. And the suppressor. Not too shabby. 5.69. Pretty nice result, I'd say. And you know, kind of looks good on there, too. There you have it, the Sten family. Mark II, Mark V, Mark VI, and Mark IX Shorty. Until next time, I will see ya. Not bad one-handed. See about this one. Oh. Hey. Nice.